Hey, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Knows in his gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is the Aki of Mahalalia, coming back with another lesson through the Spirit. Titled, In the Times of Trouble, Expect Great Things to Happen if you're sincerely engrafted in his truth. Okay, in a time of trouble, expect these things to happen, which is different examples in the scriptures according to the Bible, which our forefathers engaged in what they call miracles or miraculous acts of displaying power and hope, which is ultimately the Most High getting his men out of jams. Okay, because we're coming into a time, brothers and sisters, that things are getting ready to get very, very grim and dim for this society. Right now I'm on my lunch break and I'm looking at everybody at this grocery store. Now these people are hella lackadaisical because, you know, they, in the security of their comforts, they have the groceries, they got their buggies and stuff like that. And even though inflation is at an all-time high and is increasing by the week, these people, just the fact they can go to the grocery store is enough to keep them comfort. But see, there's going to come a time that these people aren't going to have these luxuries. And they're going to have to depend on this government or this system to put a digital all in you, man, which we know to be the mark of the beast. Okay? They're getting ready to deal with what they call transhumanism. Okay? Which trans goes into transcending. Okay? And humanism, or human, which means dark or brown men, we're going into basically the abilities of what you're going to be able to do with particular devices that's going to be attached to your body. Okay, basically you're going to be a walking, talking algorithm in a program. Okay, you're basically going to be just a walking signal that you may have appear to have some type of enhanced abilities, but in reality it's going to be a detriment, and you're going to need that in order to navigate in this society, man. Okay, so the men of the Lord, we have a different mindset. We have a different fortitude that we have to look forward to, and that's the spirit of a higher power. Because the elders always say, look, it's going to come a time that we're going to have to totally detach from the system, and that we're going to have to solely lean on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for that guidance. Okay, because we can't bow down to the system, bro. We just can't. Okay, like the scriptures tell you, man, those that concede, basically you create or you cause it great offenses. So if you concede in bowing down to Esau Edom's system, then hey, that's a great offense to the Most High and his Son, because he's giving you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and he's giving you ample examples of the Bible to have faith, and yet you chose to do not what you were supposed to do. Okay, so let's look up the word miracles. Miracle, it says, a surprising and a welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws, and is given, therefore, considered to be the work of a divine agency. Okay, and when you think of agency is like a corporal. An agency is like a how can I say it? It's like a place of business almost, or it's like a place of activity. Okay, now let's look it up here. Agency, business. That's right. Action, business or organization established to provide a particular service, typically one that involves organizing transactions between two other parties. Okay, so when you think of the agency, you think of the Most High's Son, the angels. That's a business ethic. And then you have us, which is between two or more parties, because these miracles are going to be bestowed upon the elect men in different times, in different increments, man. Okay, and we're going to get the example of when the Most High told Elijah to drink of the brook, and basically he told the ravens to feed him, because I believe it was the time of famine, if I'm not mistaken. But we coming into the time of great famine and great dearth to the land of Babylon and the surrounding societies that Esau run. And these people, they're going to be without, man. Okay, and those you Israelites out there that's playing games, that's not putting your best foot forward, hey, the scriptures say those of you that's in to know you should be beaten with many stripes, and you should not be defeated, man. Okay, because honestly speaking, it's a goddamn fucking shame that you got Israelites that been in this thing that's not doing the work, man. That's sitting back with their hands in their pocket. That's sitting back playing games, man. Okay? Niggas sitting back playing games and not putting their best foot forward. They doing the bare fucking minimum, man. And that's one thing I can't stand. A lazy nigga, man. A lazy, lackadaisical nigga that want to sit on his leaves, man. And you expect to get defended? The Most High's not going to defend niggas like that. Men been in the truth 4 or 5 plus years and ain't doing shit for the Most High, man. Sitting back with their fucking hands in their pocket. Not doing shit, man. And you got brothers that been in this thing for a year and being more diligent than a lot of you fucking niggas out there. Calling on the name of the Lord and you ain't doing nothing to solidify that. I can't stand a weak nigga, man. If you weak, then get the fuck out. Go back in the world, man. The Most High don't fucking need your service. And leave room for the sincere brothers out there. You got the talent to do the work of the Most High, and you sitting there with your fucking hands in your pocket. The Most High gonna kill you niggas, man. You got brothers out here that's been in the truth for a short amount of time, doing more works than a lot of you niggas that claim to be prophets, man. You niggas ain't prophets, man. And the Most High gonna get rid of a lot of you guys if you don't get your act together. And I speak to myself when I say this, man, because nobody is exempt from judgment. Nobody. Not me. Nobody. The Most High could take the spirit on us, He could take the spirit off us any day now, man. And that's a big fear. And that's not a fear of yours. You ain't in the right spirit. Every day I wake up, I'm like, I pray the Most High don't take the spirit off me, man. And lately, brothers have been dealing with a lot of mental issues, a lot of mental demons been plaguing brothers, man. Playing tricks on their mind. Telling them, oh, you ain't good enough. Oh, you gonna run out of gas. X, Y, and Z. But that's how you know we at the end. Because look, at the end of Yahweh's fast, after the 40th day, hey, didn't Satan come to Yahweh and tempt him? And Yahweh prevailed, but the scriptures say that the angels had to minister unto him. They had to comfort him, man. Because his body was totally weak and broken down for fasting 40 days, man. But you got to be mentally strong. Because a lot of, look, in the times we coming in, some brothers might not be with one another, man. And yes, it's good to have that brotherhood. It's good to have that unity because it fires up the spirit. You know, you feel we feed off each other's energy, but it's going to come a time that every brother ain't going to have that luxury of being on a run with another brother, man. So what you do outside of brothers is what counts the most, man. If you just being an Israelite on Saturdays, you just going to camp and that's it, you ain't doing nothing else, then how the hell you going to stand in the day of adversity, man, when you ain't got brothers around you? How you gonna stand strong in the face of danger, man? Because everybody ain't gonna be around to pat you on your fucking back, tell you good job, man. You gotta be convinced in your mind of this thing. And get them demons off you. Because when you get in that spirit of lackadaisical, hey, them demons be fucking with you, man. Trust me, I know. I got times, man, I just don't feel like doing shit. It be a tired demon on me. But you gotta fight through it, man. Fight, you gotta push through it. Pray, fast, ask the Most High, do whatever to not take the Holy Spirit from you because we this close. And that's the reason why I'm going into this lesson of miracles. It says a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural and scientific laws. It says it's therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency, man. Divine. We're expecting divine intervention, man. Okay? From the holy angels. That's why Daniel 12:1 said at that time, Michael shall stand up, the prince for thy people, man. All right? And we got to believe that. And I got to believe that, man. Because it's always a demon in your mind telling you, yeah, I believe it, but. That but demon is a bitch, man. It's a bitch, man. Because it's like you believe it, but it's like you got to feel it, man. But, hey, the Lord is going to increase us to the point when we feel it, we going to know it. Because it's easy to say, yeah, I believe. But as time progressed, like I mentioned earlier, this kingdom is taking a toll on brothers, man. The longer we go without things happening, it weakens your mindset. So you got to be even more proactive in the spirit. And do whatever it takes, man. And, hey, brothers have different things on how they can get in the spirit. watching videos, doing shows, reading, which me personally speaking, reading is a good thing of mine, but oftentimes it's hard for me to read when I got a lot of shit going on in my mind because I can't focus on it, man. It's hard for me to it's been very hard for me to focus on readings every day the last fucking couple of weeks. So this year, really, it's been a lot of ups and downs, man. Brothers been going through, and the spirit has just been all over the place, man. But we still prevailing, So I try to get some reading in. I pray, do what I gotta do. Go on several fasts, whatever, man. We just gotta break through the stronghold, But let's look up divine real quick. And it says divine, godly, religious, a form of a godlike or a god, excellent or delightful. Okay, and that's the point I want to make. So let's get right to this point, man. This is the book of Sirach 2, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 6. It says, believe it. Matter of fact, 5 is good. It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Okay, acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, man. At times you may feel like you losing your goddamn mind. You feel surreal. You feel out of reality, man. You just going. You just existing, man. Hey, you feel like you just airheadness, man. It's like, what the fuck am I really doing? You go to work, it's the same goddamn routine. You gotta go to work, you gotta hear the bullshit. They want you to work overtime. It's like, I done gave y'all 40 hours already. That's all I got for you. They want to come in between the Lord's work. Just be demons at the end of the day. But it's like you constantly playing whack-a-mole and you gotta dodge the goddamn bullet in order to remain or have some type of sanity in this society. Okay? And you go through things. That's why in Jacob's trouble, hey brothers, the balance of the scale, because right now the scales are unbalanced, man. We're totally on the bottom, drinking the drags of this shit. Okay, but when Jacob's trouble come and we start to see these people catch hell, it is gonna be a relief to our spirit, even though you may don't see it or believe it. But hey, man, when you be training for something for so long, you feel like, what the hell am I training for? I don't feel like I'm getting any better. Hey, when it kicks off, hey, trust and believe, bro, you're gonna be increased in the spirit. Because I refuse to believe all this fucking hell we catching is for nothing. It's just for the Lord to sit back and laugh at us and say, ha ha, nigga, now got your ass. Especially when these wicked mofos out here ain't doing a damn thing for you. How about Shimmy Habashai? Okay? It says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. But believe in him, and he will help thee, and order thy way aright, and trust in him. Okay? You got to trust in the Lord, man. Just got to trust. You just got to believe. You got to ask the Lord to unlock that thing in your mind. Unlock that urgency sense of belief. Like, look, man, I believe. So, hey, when the famine comes and is nothing around, you got dumpsters on fire. You got the city shut down. You got these martial law troops, police in your streets, man. You got these wild boar niggas out here and these dusty ass Edomites out here going at each other's throat for the one of all things. And you got to believe in your spirit that the Lord can send a raven to feed you, man. Because that's the whole point, man. When you put into a dire situation of hopelessness, only thing you can do is hope. And hope is a gift, man. Because, hey, people lose hope in the side of adversity. But we are hoping, man. And that's the difference between us and these people in the world. We have hope, brothers. Like when I'm going through bad shit, I always hope that the Lord gets me through it. Even if I take a couple of uppercuts and left hooks and body slams through it, I still hope that the Lord gonna get me out, and he has. Okay? He never said that we wasn't gonna be not touched. Okay? But it says here, ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward should not fail. And a lot of you guys, you don't believe in the Lord, man. That's the reason why it don't show forth in your works. You lose patience, you lose faith. You gotta you can't get discouraged because things are not going to your favor, man. And trust me, I know all about being discouraged, man. Okay, I've been discouraged my whole life in this shithole society and didn't even realize it. I didn't find hope until I came into this faith. Okay, any brother that know me would tell you that, man. This place is very discouraging. It is, because you're under a sense of a dark cloud. Everything is just negative, man. You could be in a positive spirit, but you always got forces at work that's in league for your mind, man. And if you succumb to those attacks, then hey, you will be up out of here. It's a scary thing. Like my wallet got taken the other day. I think it fell out of my pocket when I entered the truck. And you know what's so crazy? The Lord's Prayer was in my wallet in the Hebrew, man. Yeah, I lost my credit cards and my driver's licenses, all that shit, all replaceable, you know. And the Lord was so cold, I didn't realize it was gone until an hour later. They didn't even take no money off of it. But you know, the Lord's Prayer was in my wallet, man. You know, so whoever found that, hey, maybe that may, if they're an Israelite, hey, that may sow a seed somewhere, man. You know, because he could have been ready to swipe one of my cards before I realized it was gone. And then he probably saw the Lord's Prayer and then he probably read it. And I'm like, you know what? Who knows? Who knows? Hey, everything happens for a reason. But we're in a heavenly time of being tried. That's why you got to expect miracles, man. Okay? And it says here, ye that fear the Lord, hope for good. There go that word hope. And for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see that any ever trust in the Lord was confounded. And we're going to get the examples on that. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Okay. Now ask yourselves. We know who's calling on the Lord, but we know who ain't calling on the Lord. We know Israelites that ain't calling on the name of the Lord, that's calling on Christ. So when that time comes, they're not going to be defended because they've been pushing Christ. But we called on the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Even when I lost my wallet, I called on the name of the Lord. I didn't find it, but guess what? They didn't take no money either. And I had debit cards. They had money on there. They had enough to make somebody happy. I'll tell you that. They would have changed I won't say change their life around, but these little low-life maggots around here, they would have been happy for the week. I'll tell you that shit. But the Lord had it. They didn't spend no money. You know? So, hey, the Lord still delivered it in that situation. Okay? And it says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of affliction. We're coming into the time of affliction, bros. Okay? We're coming into the time of all hell breaking loose on the planet Earth. Jacob's trouble. Okay? That's why we got the definition of divinity or divine and the miracles. Okay? But it says, woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands. You faint hands, the man that's taking their hands off the plow, that's doing the bare minimum. All right, I'm going to do one show. You ain't did a show in 8 months, man. You know? How's that looking? You think the Lord is in the heavens gonna applaud you for that? No. Even Apostle Ramlab said it. Look, he said, look, you do the bare minimum, expect the bare minimum. Because I tell brothers all the time, look, the Lord is not going to deliver us with the mediocre deliverance, man. He's not going to somewhat deliver us. He's going to deliver us, man. Okay, and it's going to be talked about for ages. This deliverance is going to be so great to the point that we ain't going to talk about the first deliverance from Egypt. And that was a great, great deliverance because it's still being talked about 4,000 years. So like you're 4,000 years later today. Okay. So, hey, don't slack off when it comes to serving the Lord. Yeah, we all get tired, you know, but when you do these lessons, like right now, I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I'm bored, but hey, I'm in the spirit now and now I'm rejuvenated. It's like drinking water. Okay. And it just flows. It's natural. It's like second nature. And when it's getting hard to be that way, that's when you got to get on your knees and do some serious praying, fasting, whatever you got to do in order to get that spirit right. Because we gonna need this confidence when this hell break loose. Because Apostle Bakar said it. He said, look, Paul mentioned, he said when he fought the good fight, he said he's ready to be delivered and get his crown of righteousness, roughly paraphrasing. He had faith that even though if he was not accepted, that the Lord was going to accept him. And we got to know that. You should be able to say, well, look, if the Lord came back today, will he be satisfied with you, man? And honestly, that's a question. That's a very hard question because you don't know. You don't know. Okay. But somewhere in your spirit, you be like, well, look, I've been doing the work. You know, hopefully the Lord does accept me. But if you can't answer that with confidence, then it's probably something you lacking to do. And hey, I tell myself that because I had to rebuke myself. I was like, well, if the Lord came back today, would he be satisfied with my works? Part of me like, I don't know. And part of me like, yeah, well, I mean, I believe he will. But see, fuck that doubt. I have to know, like, yeah, even if I don't get delivered, I know I did my best. Because we really don't know who's of the elect. We don't know. Okay, but at the end of the day, man, you know, you got to rebuke those spirits. Because you get several confirmations through brothers, through certain sisters that tell you, look, the Lord is with you. But it be demons that try to plague your mind. Okay. But it says here, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended. And that's the spirit. Because I was thinking of that precept and I forgot it was in Sirach, the 2nd chapter. But there it go. Because that was on my mind. So the Lord just brought it out there, man. It says, therefore he should not be defended. Because I'm trying to get defended, man. We've caught too much fucking hell in this captivity to not want to get the hell up out of here. Look, we're doing what we got to do. Okay, I'll be damned if I be a 2-time loser, man. Being a loser on this side in this man's kingdom. Because if you an Israelite, I don't give a damn how much money you got. You are a loser. Okay, we are at the bottom as a nation. I don't give a damn if you Michael Jordan or not. He had to sell out to get his deal. But I'd be damned to catch all this hell under this devil, under these 2/3, coming to the truth, and then all of a sudden get weak and get hit with a missile. That was the biggest waste of time in the world, man. Hell no. It says, woe to you that have lost patience. And what will you do when the Lord should visit you, man? Okay? And the Most High is going to visit a lot of you guys calling yourselves Israelites first. Because you ain't teaching this. You're not going into prophecies. You're teaching that the MOTB is Christianity, all this other nonsense. You ain't going to be defended. And when the time of famine come, you're going to line your ass right up at that state building and you're going to go and get that charagma put in you. Mark those words. All right? So anyway, this is the book of 1 Kings 17. And 1, it says, and Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said it to Ahab, as Yahweh power of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there should not be dew nor rain these years. Right, the Most High brought a drought. But according to my word. And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, get thee hence and turn thee eastward and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou should drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. Okay? And that's the point, man. That was a miracle that the Lord did for Elijah because he was faithful. And the same thing gonna happen for us, man. Believe in that. Because think about it. Elijah the prophet, John the Baptist, Elder Abba Bivens, and guess who come under their tutelage? The apostles of Great Millstone. Now, through faith, we believe that these are these men today. And they're coming under these men's tutelage that were righteous men. Now, you had a lot of wicked men in One West, but the righteous stock was kicked out, and now they formed the Great Millstone, which so happens we are part of those camps, man. So we have righteous teachers, whether the people believe it or not. Because you got a lot of naysayers and gainsayers and scoffers that say all the apostles and elders of Great Millstone are wicked, they're Masons and all this shit. Fuck all that, man. You think a man gonna sit up there and risk 40 years of his life going out to the streets just to sell out? No, man. That's stupid. But see, if he's fed these men in the ancient world, he's gonna feed us today. And I believe that, man. Okay, because the Lord sets things up perfectly, man. If you look at the way things are set up in your life, and when things come and when they go and they're taken away, the Lord does shit for a reason, man. You know, like lately, you know, brothers been, you know, we've been getting things, stuff coming in, you know, abundance of things. To the point that brothers, you know, we spend our money on things that we need, but at times it's just like shit. It's just given to us. So it's just like, okay, this could be for a rainy day, because ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be able to consume all this just through a week's time. No, this is put up for a rainy day. Like the Lord told Abraham, he said, look, I already provided the sacrifice. It was already set up for him. That's why the goat, or the salaki, that's why the lamb was already caught in the thickets and in the bushes, so to speak, because it was already there. Just a test to see how you gonna fare through it. But it says here, so, and it should be that thou should drink of the brook. I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So the Lord communicates with the animals, with the fowls of the heaven. So he went and did according to the word of Yahweh, for he went and dwelled by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. So, hey, he had breakfast and dinner, as they would call breakfast, which means you breaking your fast. That's all breakfast means, is breaking the fast after you sleep. That's all, just break a fast. But he ate in the morning, and he ate in the evening. So he had his sufficiency of food for the day. Meaning we're going to have enough, brothers. Trust that. And all these preppers out here, if you notice, everything on YouTube is dealing with preppers, stock this, stock that. These are people right in Babylon, right in our states, right in our cities. You think they going to hoard all that shit to themselves? And you think the people that's going to fight for that, the Lord going to clear all these people out for us to get what we need. So it's going to be plenty of food out here in Jacob's Trouble for the elect. Okay, may not be at face value. You may not be able to go to Family Dollar and get you a cup of ramen. But hey, man, you know how many houses out here? How many hotels are out here? I mean, yeah, you're going to have martial law and chaos on every aspect. But hey, it's going to be some places that ain't going to see a troop, man, for some time. So you got to start rationally putting yourself in perspective. All these houses out here, you think these fucking Edomites ain't got food? You crazy, man. And the scriptures say be as pilgrims on the earth. So, brothers, we going to be straight. Okay? Like, I remember a couple years ago, we was doing some work in his Edomite crib. I think he stayed by like a professional football player or a baseball player for the Kansas City Royals. I tell you not, man, I went in this man's basement. His wine cellar was bigger than my fucking apartment. And he had another door in the back. He said, well, I'm like, what was behind there? It was like a metal door that was welded shut. He said, well, if I had to take you or put you in there, he said, I had to kill you. Meaning he had some shit in there. Basically, it was a fallout shelter because it was sealed to the concrete slab. And I already knew it was an abundance of food down there. Had weapons, all types of shit. Probably had gold, silver, shelter. Because when these Edomites get these big ass houses built up out in the country, hey, you better believe they install those mini bunkers in there. And they showed you that in the movie The Road. But instead the bunker was outside. But I wouldn't doubt if it had some type of underground chamber that you can get to from the basement of the house. So the Lord got it. Trust me, brothers. We gonna be straight. Don't even worry about it. You may go a day or two without eating, but hey, that's when the spirit of endurance comes in. That we fast, we've practiced this. Okay, even if you go 2 or 3 days without eating, the Lord is gonna put the spirit on you to not faint. Okay, because you're in the spirit. You see, it's just gonna happen when it happens. Stop thinking about it overly and just let it happen. Because when you try to think about what your next move gonna be, that's when you're gonna try to take matters into your own hand, and then you're gonna do something crazy because you're trying to depend on your own strength. Like the scriptures say, lean not to thy own understanding. Let the spirit work in you and build you up how it's gonna build you up. And believe it. Okay. And it says here, and it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, arise and get thee to Zaporath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. And behold, I have commanded the widow woman there to sustain thee. So everywhere he went, he was cool. Because this is the one when he raised her son from the dead. But basically, man, she was bugging out because of the time of famine. She was like, well, we ain't gonna have bread. He like, look, man, don't even worry about it. We gonna make this shit work. And the Lord blessed him. And he blessed her because, hey, she had faith that he was a man of the Lord. Okay? So, hey, brothers, we gonna be straight, man. I can promise us that. I can promise us that, man. If we are of the elect, we are going to be all right. Okay? The Lord is not gonna have us to get the shit beat out of us this time. We've took too many L's before. I refuse to believe that the Lord is gonna let all of us get dealt with like we did before. Because over the last captivities, we got dealt with. We got beheaded. We got stoned. Okay, we got put to death. We got thrown off cliffs, drowned, fucking sawed in half, fed to lions. Okay, gladiator wars, fell in war, been chased out the cities. Okay, crucified. We ain't going through that shit again, man. We gonna get power on this side. Okay, and miracles are gonna come in. Okay, so this is the book of First Maccabees, the first chapter. Because remember, this was at the time when the revolt started from the Maccabean brothers, Judas, Matthias, okay, Eleazar, etc. Remember that Antiochus at that time put decree on Israel that everybody should come under the laws and live under the heathens' laws, meaning not circumcising their kids on the 8th day, okay, eating swine's flesh, defiling the altar, the temple. This was at that time, okay, but you had a certain group of men, which I believe the Maccabees were definitely men that was during the time of King David. I believe that those men reincarnated because they showed the same diligence and village and spirit, man. Okay, men of valor, warriors, and I believe we're those men coming back because clearly they was of the house of David. Okay, but it says here, now the time drew near that Matthias should die, and he said it to his sons, now have pride and rebuke God in strength in the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation, talking about the rule of the Greeks. Okay, because Antiochus just stated that he was proud in all the world at the time, to the point that he was boasting himself. And this is why the Most High smote Antiochus with a plague of the loins, okay, and a stench that was unbearable, okay, because, hey, he was too proud. So what he did was, as the time the Lord was jacking him up, when he humbled him, he basically told him, like, look, man, this is the reason why I'm doing X, Y, and Z to you. So he sought to write a letter to the Jews or to the Israelites at that time, asking for repentance and forgiveness for what he's done. But the Lord didn't honor his sacrifice because ultimately Antiochus was a heathen, man. Okay? And it's the same spirit these devils are coming in today. They making the same mistake, and the Lord gonna catch them in the same damn trap. All right? So it says here, now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law and give your lives for the covenant of your father. So you got to have a mindset, you're willing to die. Okay? Or you rather be fed things offered unto idols, or you rather die for this truth. Because that's a mindset, man. Willing to lose your life for this faith, man. And a lot of brothers, we got to meditate on that, because, hey, there will be some martyrs. We never said that wasn't. The scriptures say you're going to have those that was beheaded for the witness and the testimony of Yahushua. Okay? So you got to put yourself in a mindset. Each and every brother in this truth that's serving the Lord diligently and sincerely shall have in a mindset, I might have to die for this. And when you practice that mindset, it becomes more acceptable unto you at that time. Because you know this society is bullshit. You know what the end game, you know what happens if you take the mark of the beast, you're going to get destroyed. Okay? So what the hell you willing to sell out for a few more seconds of comfort? Or you're afraid to get thrown in a FEMA camp? You're afraid to get beheaded? You're afraid to get hands put on you or grabbed up? Remember what the scriptures say, man. So meditate on these things. And in time of trouble, you should be reading stories like this. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. It says, call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So you should receive great honor and an everlasting name, okay? And that's the spirit, because we're reading about these men now. Okay, the Maccabean Wars. Okay, first Maccabees, second Maccabees. I believe you have a third and fourth Maccabees, if I'm not mistaken. But it says here, was not Abraham found faithful in temptation and was imputed unto him for righteousness? Okay, one of the main reasons why the Most High called Abraham his friend, and that he set him up as the father of nations. Okay, which Abraham means father of the multitude, Abraham. Okay, which means father of the multitude. You see, because Abraham was the father of many nations, but there was a chosen nation, which was the line of Jacob, or Israel, or the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Through Jacob was the chosen line. And through the promise that the Most High gave Abraham, because of his faithfulness, we are going to inherit that blessing. And Abraham did come back as an Israelite. For in case you didn't know that. Okay. But anyway, it says here, Joseph, in a time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord in Egypt. Phinehas, our father, being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Yahushua, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. Because remember, Joshua and Caleb, they was delivered into the promised land, which Joshua means to deliver. Okay? And it says, and David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of the everlasting kingdom. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Remember, because Elijah was taken up into the whirlwind. He's basically transfigured, okay, or transformed. He didn't die a physical death like most men did. And it says, Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, which is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, by believing were saved out of the flame. And Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of the lions. So, and thus consider ye throughout all the ages that none that put their trust in him should be overcome. Okay? So fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory should be dung and worms. Okay? So don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about the shit Esau say. Threaten to throw you out your homes, threaten to take your food from you, threaten to put your kids in concentration camps. So be it. Because at the end of the day, we know he must do these things because, hey, Revelation 12:12, we have a short time. So anyway, brothers and sisters, I hope this was encouraging. In the name of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Hey, double honors to my elders, the apostles, a great millstone, and blessings and salutation to the whole elect. And with that, shalom and the Baba Shalom.